welcome to another episode of Nothing Serious as Vibes, the podcast East Africa to the world and back. You get me? And today, as per usual, we got another guest on, um, and so I thought I could hear an echo, and yeah, like doing amazing things in the art sphere, in the art field, and beyond that, just community building and bringing people together. And I'm a fan of what you do and what you're doing, and I would love to hear your story. So that's why I really appreciate you coming on. You know what I
really
mean?
appreciate you having me.
Yeah. So we got none other than KANAIZA
Hello,
in the
hello.
building.
Hello. Hello, East Africa. Hello, Kenya.
um, yeah, like KANAIZA, we connected a while ago, and I've known about your work through social media and stuff, but I don't know you. I don't know how you got started and stuff like that. So yeah, just generally like who's KANAIZA and
Okay, so I like to say that what do I like to say? I'm East African
yeah,
girl
yeah,
living in East London.
we.
So I'm from Nairobi
Mm-hmm.
via Bow, London. Um,
Boat E3.
Bow E3, and I don't know. I came to like the UK when I was 12, and that in itself was an epic journey. A lot of like cultural differences, I'd say. And landed straight in East London. And there's so much to say, but what I will say is that I'm really big on storytelling.
Yeah.
Um, and what I found maybe when entering the corporate space is that the school days, it was really school days were fun. We had like the emergence of grime, had a lot of other black countries I didn't know about. I met Ghanaians,
Mm.
I met Nigerians, Jamaicans. At the time, everyone was Jamaican.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody was
Oh
Jamaican,
yeah.
and that in itself was a mystery to me.
Right.
So, coming to this country from a culture perspective has been really interesting
Yeah.
because those are the lens which I kind of discovered things was through culture and the music and that kind of thing. Um, Before getting to work, I think we had established Afrobeats. People were, they were Kenyan, they were Nigerian,
Yeah.
they were claiming their countries out. So this is nice. This is cool. And when I got to the kind of corporate space, used to work in advertising, it was a very big shift. Suddenly there was no more of this like big culture swim. Um, and that was, I wouldn't say confusing, just a bit of a culture shock. So anyone who's coming to the country, maybe it's one to look out for.
Yeah.
Depending
Yeah.
on where you go to work, you might find your people just are not there.
Yeah.
And I think that discovery for me made me want more kind of black representation. So more people, on my team, in the creative team, editorial team.
Yeah. It's
Also,
important.
also wanting, because I was working as a creative, wanting more black talent in production as well as on screen.
Yes.
And I remember being asked, I'll never forget this, and this was a very genuine question, just being asked by an amazing Irish creative director who's interviewed me after my internship finished. She's like, what are you doing now? And I was like, I don't know. It's a good question. And I had interviewed 3 Irish men. One of them, amazing man, was still like very close to this day. And he said, so are there more of you from your community?
Yeah. And you know what? You can't even blame the guy for asking that. It sounds like a genuine question.
I looked him in his eyes, and you realize he's being so genuine. He's
Right.
not really met people like myself
Yeah.
in his sphere, and he genuinely wants to know. And at the end of the day, he's trying to offer me a job here. And he's like, who are your influences? And I'm like, oh, my influences, they're not household names. And there's so many of them. I know I meant to say SAUTI, etc., but
Right.
I'll be honest, my people that influence me and I think are doing amazing creative things, I could give you a long list. You wouldn't know any of them, but I can show you their work. And if I work here, then these kind of people that I want to be working with.
That's incredible.
So that has kind of was my start into the creative realm.
Yeah.
Very lucky to have a good guardian, Irish. I was told look out for the Irish.
Yeah, because we look out for each other. You get me?
So I think I had really nice kind of a creative guardian when entering that realm.
Nice.
I think he moved on to another company.
Okay.
And things changed for me.
Oof.
When your guardian leaves you.
Oof.
and you're on your own.
Maybe that's a sign for you to leave as well, you know, sometimes.
Oh, you know what?
That's so interesting.
I think it did lead to me eventually, like, leaving. I went on to work for, like, Lucas Rabina Suntory.
Okay.
They're, like, a Japanese drink brand.
Wow.
And they also own a lot of, like, alcohol brands as well.
I see, okay.
That was so cool. And so I was meant to work as a social media person
For that company.
for that company.
Yeah.
And yeah, they want social media jobs. When I went there, we had a 4-hour interview. And I was talking about crime. I was talking about all this stuff.
Yeah, after a while though.
Anyway, they're like, you know what? We're going to make you the creative lead and also social influencer lead. So they created a job for me.
I love that. Oof.
And what that meant, again, it was like, actually, I can bring in more people that they don't know that are great from the community.
Yeah. That's incredible.
So I feel like that has always been a big sphere of mine. And I think, like I said, that happened because I was immersed in culture. And then suddenly I wasn't. I was in a different culture. And I was like, you guys need to...
And you had to explain your culture to other people.
And I was like, the idea of there being one is insane. So I was like,
Do you know what the irony of that is? Some people actually enjoy being the only one in the room, which is, I find weird. That's a journey and a half though. Is it something that started in school, like the creative artsy?
Do you know what? Yes. I can say, what's that? Sixth form. Sixth form. Yeah, you have 4 subjects. You got to drop one. You know, wow. Yeah. Anyway, so one of the things I did was I did like geography, history, English, and media studies. I was crushing media studies.
Love it.
Yeah. Talking about that A distinction, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Mum said, yeah, this is very nice. Forget about it. You got to drop one subject, you're dropping that one.
Yeah.
I'm very stubborn, but...
Oh, she wanted you to drop media?
Imagine.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Household, African household. It gets like that.
She said, humanities. That's not humanities. That's not... Oh, is that me?
No, that's me. You're good.
Okay, so what I did at that given time, actually, long story. I was mentoring some young boys because at the time there was a lot of fighting between schools, between Asian and Black boys in particular.
Yeah.
Another thing you learn about the culture here.
Pick it up very quickly.
And you know me, I was in shock. I was like, what's all of this? I think I joined something called Telco, which is the East London Community Organisation. They have different sectors around London.
Yeah.
And there was an amazing, I don't say member of parliament, but there was a black man who's in parliament or working in government. And there was like Tim Campbell. And we were like, what are we doing? We were mentoring young boys in the area. I used to go to school at St. Angela's, St. Bonaventure, so that's Upton Park area.
Chee.
Come on.
If you know, you know.
And we're teaching them about like the kind of Dragon Den style pitching.
Okay.
Because like I was like, hey, the key thing is money. Like from my understanding, under all this violence,
economics, isn't it?
It's just come down to money. If we can show people how to make money, and support them with that journey, then there's different path to take.
Right.
So so between the two stories. So my mum said drop media studies, so I dropped it. But I had put together like a team of like friends, and we created a magazine.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, we haven't created it, but we've created all the content, done all the photos, formatted
the ideation, everything.
Everything is done, right? Now mentoring is young boys. There's a big pitch day. I think my boys come, but some boys didn't come because they're boys from different.
It can get tricky.
Yeah, so my boys came, but some of the boys from different areas didn't attend, and there's a lot of free space, and they were like, you're of the age group. Do you want to pitch? And I remember messaging everyone in my team, saying, can you be here within an hour? And they all got there within an hour, and we pitched, and we got some money.
Nice.
To print. So that was my first taste of if you prepare, you never know an opportunity will come. I was definitely not expecting the funding. But that was, I guess, the first taste of creating something with people. And that became like all of our CVs.
Wow. An opportunity came knocking as you were ready.
No, listen, kids were like, at that time, everyone was frustrated because you go get internship. They say you you haven't got any experience.
Yeah.
So then we
where's your
slapped the
portfolio
magazine
and
there, and that's a game changer.
Talk to me now. Talk to me now. Okay.
So I think I went on to like intern for Days and Confused, and I think I wish I brought it, but everyone who was involved is doing their thing in the media industry in some way, shape, or form right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Off that little seed. Yeah.
Well, I like to think it gave us a little boost.
100%. That gives a young person confidence to see that your idea can be trusted enough for people to fund it. You know what I mean? That, as you said, like the importance of like economics and, you know, socially how people are deprived and stuff like that. That's the underlying factor of a lot of this crime and stuff like that. You know, because crime is not about color. It's you know, it's about situation and life and hardships. Because, you know, like you go up and down the country, the situation is still the same.
Yeah.
Just, you know. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I think art is an important, I guess, benefactor, helper for youth and young people. And so for you, like, did you see a career in that at that time, like, when you were kind of finding your way around it?
Well, me, I said, you know, I'm going to be a journalist. Journalist. I think stylist and journalist were the two things I explored. So I did journalism internship with Days and Confused magazine, and then I did also, and I love the journalism one. It was amazing. I had an amazing editor I was working with.
Yeah.
At the time, it was just good because they were talking about, you know, the South African Tumblr influencers. And I was like, yeah, I know them. And this is who they are. Because how do you know this stuff? And I'm like, so we had a really good
culture,
bond.
baby.
Exactly. Really good bond. And I remember at the time, I think MIA was being interviewed, going to be on the cover. I had to do the research for it. I remember staying up all night, being up page 50 or 100 of the search pages. And I remember I didn't go to the interview, but the editor came back, and I think I'd said things like, you know, a minister from Sri Lanka had called her out, and when she was being interviewed, she's like, how do you know this?
Called out MIA?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, how do you know this stuff?
Yeah.
So I was really proud of that.
I done my research.
I did a bit of research, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't get to do the interview, but I could see the fruits of curiosity. I didn't know I had ADHD at the time, so hyperfixation.
Okay.
So those were my first tastes. I did a styling internship. Ooh, that one humbled me. Because I remember, like, one of my memories is having 2 large suitcases. I didn't know being stylist.
It's not easy.
You are Royal Mail of style, right? And I didn't know that because it seemed very glamorous. And I think for those that do it and have gone on to do it, I have so much respect for them. So I remember having these 2 large suitcases, right? And being at the station, was it King's Cross? And people have gone past, the train is full. And then some man, he looked at me, he picked up those bags and he threw me in the train. He's like, it's the only way you're going to make it. And I was still still fresh and young in this country. And I was like, thank you so much. So I'd say there's been a lot of helpers along the way, and they've come in unusual shapes and forms.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of beauty in just, as a young person, just trying out things and seeing what you like and don't like. You learn that certain things are not for you. Styling was not for me. That day taught me that.
Big lesson.
You know, you need to be of a certain mindset, discipline, and so you learn what is for you and what is not for you.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, fashion industry, I hear that is not for the faint-hearted at all. Like, there's stories I hear from people, and even the things you hear from in the press and like the films that have come out and stuff. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not the one. But so art, finding your way into art, is it something that you are purposeful about? Is it like after the internships and the corporate world and working like in that life, is something that you decided to, or did it just fall in your lap?
So a few things happened. So I was, along my journey, I started freelancing. I told a little bit about being a Centauri.
Yeah.
And then next, I was headhunted to go to work at News UK, and everyone was like, "Don't go there.
Yeah.
Owned by the Sun." I'm like, "Don't know. It's a new influence marketing agency. You know."
Oh, when they first came out.
Yeah. So you're gonna go help them launch. I was like, forget all these stories.
Like Rupert Murdoch and them, man.
Yeah. I said, no, it's not that. It's not that.
What is it? It is that.
Anyway, I cannot say too much, but I'd say whilst I was there, really had a lot of fun. I did launch, helped creatively launch an agency. In there, it was amazing.
Which is an amazing thing to have on your CV. Like it doesn't matter who's by it. Like, just a great.
The experience itself.
Right.
Ooh.
I can imagine.
I was like, oh, I can do that, you know. And seeing something being built from scratch, because we're coming in and there's no brand.
it's up to you.
There is no anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is what the brand will look like. This is what the website will look like. This is what the tone is. And this is what we're about.
It's a whole process.
So that in itself gave me skills that will forever be useful.
Right.
But whilst I was there, what happened? A few things happened. Some I can discuss, some I can't. But
Anything mad?
mad. A lot of mad stuff. A lot of mad stuff.
Anything mad that you can discuss?
All I can say is that I was creating KANAIZA Gallery at the time.
Right.
And how that came about was a bit random. So 2 things. One, I used to buy really expensive magazines and carefully cut out the pages and then frame them. Right?
The editorial piece.
Editorial pieces, right?
Okay.
And then I had a friend who came over and they saw me doing this.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, so you're a curator?" I said, "What's that?" He said, "What you're doing, you're curating. You're picking the art that you like and you're presenting it. You're, showcasing it."
Yeah.
And I was like, I said, so using words like that. Right?
Adds that to CV.
So I was like, well, okay, fine. And I got a lot of peace from doing that. And I think that's something I was doing maybe from when I was in Kenya. But it's only when I moved out I started like framing the
That's
the
so
art.
interesting because I guess I'm a creator. Like, the Argos catalogue during Christmas, mine was on that.
Listen, and that is also curating.
No, but that's so interesting. So it's like, because sorry to cut you off, but kids, like, generally you find kids that will cut out magazine pictures and stuff like that. And to parents, it might just seem like a whatever.
They call it vision board now.
Cool, you're ahead of the game, right? Well, go on, carry on.
Oh, but no, they're giving me titles.
Yeah. Curator.
I said, okay, cool. I think at the time I had a personal Instagram.
Yeah.
And I had an ex-boyfriend who said, "Oh, this is cute. These selfies, really pretty. Well, it shows nothing about you and your view and your perspective on things.
Your personal.
Yeah. So I think you're saying you're presenting like a dummy. He didn't say those words. That's what I heard.
That's what. Yeah. Oh gosh.
And I think I kind of not that I sulked, but for a few days I was like, Then
what you wanted to hear.
Not what I wanted to hear. Then I thought, okay, if there's something I'm going to share of my world, of myself that I'm comfortable with, it'll be the art that I like.
Yeah.
So that was kind of how the whole kind of art focus began. I was challenged.
Okay.
Yeah.
Came out your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Nice. I respect that. That's good. And I mean, sometimes you do need those moments of like, reevaluation and someone giving you that push. So that is a good thing that happened. And so I guess that kind of made you create KANAIZA Gallery and go into that. And
yes, and at the same time I told you I was working at Use UK. The interesting things were happening there. And so KANAIZA became a safe space for me and a pure space for me. So I could focus purely on what I love. Also, at the time, with things I was going through, I wanted to make sure that other Black creatives have safe spaces. And I thought maybe I can be a safe space.
Yeah.
Because I also needed a safe space.
Yeah.
So KANAIZA Gallery was one, just showcasing art that I love. It was also providing a safe space for myself. But it's also like a love letter to the different artists and musicians and creators that I was sharing.
That's beautiful.
Because I've been asked, are you the only one?
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know
There's so many more. There's millions more. Yeah.
There's so many, and it became something I was obsessive with. I used to post every day at 6 a.m. So no matter what was happening in my life,
this is happening.
That was a daily thing, and
I
could get lost in searching for people and searching for work.
That's such a beautiful feeling, isn't it? When you go into that rabbit hole and then you find these gems, and
that's it. And that's something I still get joy from till this day.
Right.
And I think also at the time I saw art as something as very out there, very bougie, bourgeoisie.
There is that thing.
That distance. And so I started to actually see myself in art. And when I say see myself, I see Black people as art and artists and as creators and as these storytellers. And I think that's what has attracted a lot of other people, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Because you mentioned about not being seen, and like people in certain spaces, especially people who are creative and understand that, as a black person and as a person of marginalized communities, we might not necessarily get the same reception or the same PR or whatever.
Or even
so
the
it's
credit.
on us sometimes. Even the credit, even just a tag, just a little
it, yeah.
at this person for
Yeah.
the, thank you. So I think sometimes it's also on us to carry that mantle and be like, be very purposeful in that respect of how we collaborate and credit other people. So that's dope. And then KANAIZA Gallery. So that came about, and then when did you see like the growth? Was it sudden growth? Was it like
Honestly,
over time?
no. Honestly, I
Did you intend for it to go this way?
my goal was to get 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
For me, I wrote it down. I had a big flip chart.
Yeah.
I said 1,000 followers.
Yeah. Are we past that now, baby?
We passed.
Are we way
that.
past that now?
Yeah, but that was when I say the joy of just seeing those numbers
Yeah.
rise.
It's a great
And
achievement.
at work, they're like, "Oh, what's that you're doing over there?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, And the beauty of it is I discovered that whatever it was that I was seeking,
Yeah.
others were seeking, and that's what making the numbers grow. There was a shared curiosity and something that was being filled.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
That's important.
I think I'm also a very emotional person.
Nothing wrong with that. That's
Sensitive.
important. That's
a very
important.
sensitive being, and I
Yeah.
feel like art is also very vulnerable
It is.
for those that create it and share it, or it can be. So there's a certain sense of vulnerability that goes into the curation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like someone can tell she's in love right now. Yeah. My
Just
mum
read
said that.
through that.
I said, "Mum, what do you think of this?" Ah, it looks like, are you in love? I said, "No, I'm not, but yes, I am."
I love the Lord. That's true. Because art, as I said last time, is very polarizing.
Polarizing.
Okay, so in terms of that, then, like, because art, as you said, is often seen as a bourgeois thing, and
Yes.
it's up there, and it's not for us. And how do you like, what's the word? Make it more relatable. It's not even relatable, because if you see yourself in art, you become relatable. But how is it like? How do you bring it down to the masses and make it everyone understand that art is for everyone? It's not that thing that's so far
Far
attained.
off. It's not just like
like a so far thing you can't really
like
reach.
marble sculptures,
Right.
marble sculptures.
And especially when you think of art in the European context.
Yes.
It's all about 1800s and sorry guys, the mic keep messing up. I apologize. I think we're good. Yeah, like art is often seen as like this old thing, or like and I mean it makes sense. Sometimes things hold value over time, whatever. But like, how do you make people realize that even right now, legendary art can be created
I'd say that
by us?
this journey, actually, of seeing art as something that's already amongst us in the community started for me maybe in uni, which is random, but I did literature, and it was focusing on European literature.
Yeah.
So remember, like, I used to often ask my uncle, like, please send me books. I want to make comparisons to the folk tales, German folk tales and Kenyan folk tales. So I think in a way what I was doing, I was already starting to push and say, no, here is our culture, here is our archives, or here is our context and our history.
Yeah.
And I think wherever I've gone, I've always had that, okay, I see this here, but I come from somewhere else, and I know that we have this. It's a different culture, different subculture, different flavor, but we have this. So I think within me, wherever I go, something in me is like, yeah, that's all good, but don't forget,
we have our thing as well. That's important.
And so that was the first kind of reference into seeing myself in art, or seeing my culture in art, or seeing blackness in art.
Right.
And what can I say? Now, whilst doing KANAIZA Gallery, for me, there was a bit of innocence in it, in just sharing what I liked. And I think I share things that fall in different spheres.
Yeah.
So like in some things, I'm more like editorial, more fashion. I'll share a lot of photography.
Yeah.
And I like, say, a lot of narrative stories. So when you have like a carousel of images, and as you go through, the story is building up.
Yes.
So I generally just share what I like, and I think I share the best of what I like. Yeah, share the best of what I like, and show things at the kind of the highest quality and standard, and that's kind of that's as innocent as I go into it. I think when I'm looking at the art, I don't think I have any political mind with it. It's just a pure love.
And that's what creation about.
Yeah.
Being a career. Yeah. What you like and generally, I guess, tastemaker is another word for it. You know,
Yeah.
what you hope people will like and what you see people like.
In fact, when I told my mum I want to be a creative, and she said, "Oh, that's a new one now." Sorry, she said she wants to be a stylist. She's journalist. Now she wants to be a creative. She said, "You know, that is for the white owners, the white male owners, and their kids." And I thought, what? So they're the ones who get to have how to put this? They're the
I
ones
guess the privilege.
get the privilege of just sharing what they love and sharing the ideas and getting paid for that.
Incredible, right?
So I want some of that.
Give me some of that.
Give me some of that. And I feel like with KANAIZA Gallery, or just with being a creative, it has come with its hurdles. But I think KANAIZA Gallery was a space where I was outside of political influence, I would say.
Safe space.
It's a safe space where I could share what I like and people actually liked it.
Yeah.
And I think people say it has like sometimes people think I'm a photographer. And like one person creates all that work.
Yeah. I thought that when I first followed
That's
you.
insane.
Yeah, I mean,
If one person could do that.
all right, guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, go on the Insta right now and check out KANAIZA Gallery, please.
Okay.
Honestly, that is incredible. But I mean, if you don't like, that's a good point. Did I think someone? No, I thought it was like a team of like people
collective.
and like a collective. Yeah, I thought it was like a collective. Yeah. Because it does because you do see like there's paintings, there's photographs, there's different things on there. But it's an amazing platform. It's an amazing platform, and obviously that's kind of led on to other things, and including like the inaugural Kenyan contemporary art exhibition in London.
Visions and
Congratulations.
possibilities. Oh my God. You know, that was work that I'm so proud of. I didn't think the Kenyan government was going to be investing in black art and culture. In fact, we had a meeting maybe a month before. And we were talking about we need the Kenyan embassy to be more proactive.
Yeah.
And so when that came about, I was so proud to see that they are investing. It was featuring 18 artists under the age of 35. 4 of them were brought here. I got to speak and meet with them, find out what's happening back home, what's the scene saying.
The latest.
And they're saying, it's a different time. The older creators are saying that things are easier now. Right. There's more investment now.
Right.
And I'm like, what a time to be alive. I've seen so many changes since coming to the UK. Like I said, coming to the UK. And everyone knows Jamaican. Just seeing grime and seeing different elements come up. But it's also, for me, very fulfilling to see other Kenyan creatives getting to have that experience. And also see the government backing that. And I'm hoping to do more work with them and actually spend some more time in Kenya, looking at different mediums and putting together strategies for how artists can be represented locally and internationally.
Right. Yeah.
But that I can say that was a very fulfilling project to be involved in. Yeah.
So what did you kind of what role did you play in that?
Okay, so I came on board as a cultural dialogue partner.
Jeez, these titles. Hey, cultural dialogue partner.
And
I'm gonna have to take that one,
I like it.
That's a great title.
So what that meant, I was involved very much from the beginning. I guess I was also curatorial lead in the sense that I was advising on what we needed to get the exhibition ready.
Yeah.
That's little small details. We need clear images of the artwork. We need all the titles. We need the pricing. And so if the artists are coming, we need to have a talk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Having that talk is crucial.
It was a really good talk as well.
Thank you.
Really good talk.
So it's responsible for putting those elements together. And the cultural dialogue is that thing of, again, making sure that the community here, or whoever is in attendance, is able to hear from the perspective of the artist. And to actually have a more intimate understanding of who they are, where they've come from, and their work.
Right.
So at the heart of things, that's what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. And he did a great job of it. It was really good. I think it was a really successful first first go at it. And I think I was gonna say we're in next year already, but
Oh,
next year,
Uh-huh.
I feel like there's more plans for that, and moving forward, like there's gonna be
Absolutely.
plans for collaboration and working together.
Absolutely.
And,
I think I would love to work with you next year.
Oh,
I would
we'll
love
do that.
to.
This is the start of it.
Yeah,
You know
listen.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Listen, absolutely. Like I was saying that we had a lot of painting, and I was saying I actually want to go to Kenya and explore different mediums.
100%.
I know that you are doing that with music.
Yeah.
And so I would like to start working towards next year already,
Yes.
and bring in these different elements of art, sculpture, music, film. There was a bit of film, painting, and whatever else is found on the ground.
Yeah, even theatre. And
Even
like,
theatre.
yeah,
There we
yeah,
go. I
love
think,
it.
and to really see art in its fullest form, and I'm hoping that next year we'll have a even closer insight on the spectrum of art coming from Kenya. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we need to get down to the nitty gritty.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, there is so much happening, guys. Like, just tap in, like, whatever your interest may be. Like, I like music, so I ended up going down a rabbit hole and finding out this whole new sound of East African R&B and then alternative hip hop and all these sounds. Hence, you know, SAUTI and MASHARIKI came around. So yeah, you never know what you might find. Just go down a rabbit hole. You know, go on your Insta, go on your TikTok, go on your Twitter, search things. You know what I mean? There's so much happening, and not just Kenya. You know, within East Africa, and sometimes we I don't know, we shy off, you know, promoting our own or going down our own rabbit holes. But yeah, man, why not find out what's happening? You know, you never know what you might find. You never know who you might find. You know, so I would definitely recommend that. And then like within art, I would say this is maybe for like parents or maybe older people. Like when you're talking to the younger lot, and you know they want to be artists and stuff like that. How I don't know. How do you tell parents that, you know, this is a viable actual career and idea they can actually do? You know, convince
Old generation.
Yeah, convince all generations.
I'd say, you know, I have a lot of like maybe private viewings,
Yeah.
and exhibitions, and people will come and they've come to see the art. But then I have really interesting conversations where they say, you know what, my child really is into painting, and I've not really been given them that space.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this is a viable, like this is a genuine career, and maybe I should give them the room. I never know where they could go with this. So having those kind of conversations happens really organically, and it is happening. Also, I'd say like now people are saying Afrobeats, etc.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise. So
like, oh, why did they see money? They're like, oh, okay, you guys should have told us.
What?
You should have told us there's money in this.
100%.
I think that we have had a lot of stubborn African creatives and artists who have pushed through
Just persistently
and are starting to get results.
Yeah.
And results are what speaks to the old generation.
100%.
So now these conversations are easier because we have reference points. And now we even have the Kenyan government, you know, the creative economy department and the youth affairs and sports and culture department saying, you know, we have a lot of young people here.
Yeah.
This seems to be a path that they really enjoy.
Yeah.
What can we do to make sure they have all they need to get as far as they can?
Right.
So yeah.
That makes sense. I think that the proof's in the pudding anyway. So, and also like the world's so connected now, so people are seeing, you know, parents are on Facebook now seeing, you know, people in Kenya making noise and music and art and all culture and stuff like that. So, and also like, you know, I think even kids also understand the power of creativity. Yeah, power of creativity and just power of storytelling and stuff like that. They see the importance of it. So yeah, hopefully I think as we move forward, as Kenyans specifically,
Yes.
I feel like we're cooking.
We're cooking.
For lack of a better word, we're cooking. We're cooking something. You know what I'm saying?
I'd say like I like to refer to the story of like the tortoise and the hare.
Yes.
I feel like Kenya's definitely a tortoise.
Yeah.
We definitely,
We're too chilled, innit?
we're so chill. But we must say that whilst being chill, a lot of beautiful art, music, theatre, film
Yeah.
is being created,
Yeah.
and we're only getting sprinkles of it.
Right.
So I'm really excited to see what can come out of that.
100%.
Also, recently we started a little
Community.
little community.
Yeah. Community collective. Community. Yeah.
Community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So things like that are happening.
Things like that happening. I think it's more about intentionally profiling,
Intentionality. 100%.
profiling people that are doing amazing things.
Yes. Yes.
Making sure that the audience that wants to hear about it can.
Yeah.
But slowly and surely we will get there.
Yeah. Yeah. No. 100%. 100%. I definitely agree with that. And is there any plans? Any future plans we should look out for? Any collaborations? Anything coming up?
Okay, so
And also plug your socials while we're here.
okay, so I'd say a few things I want to put out there to look out for in the new year.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, we've started a young Kenyan creative community.
Yes.
We've not officially launched. We've just been having our initial meeting.
Yeah.
It's called Matatu Migration.
Come on. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Matatu Migration, matatus in itself are very uniquely Kenyan.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, that's where you see the underground art and creativity kind of bleed into the mainstream.
Yeah.
There are these amazing buses, kind of like Pit My Ride buses. You can pick, you want a gospel bus, do you want a hip hop bus? It's up to you. You pick your sound, you pick the look you like, and you enter, and you have this whole experience. And that's something when I left Kenya, I think about all the time. So migration, because it represents the Kenyan creatives on the ground and us also in the diaspora. So please look out for that in the new year. We are looking to connect with Kenyan creatives around the world, starting in the UK and Kenya. We started a little bit on that, but we'll be launching properly next year. Has some amazing events and mentoring programs on the cards for that.
Coming real soon.
I'd say KANAIZA Gallery, again, looking to work and continue to work and build a meaningful relationship with the Department of Creative Economy in Kenya and the departments of like youth culture, youth affairs and sports. So that is also look out for what we do next year.
Yes.
I hope you and I work together.
Most definitely. 100%.
And I've got an amazing artist called Adedare Olufair. I had a private viewing for him this year, but I'm going to have 2 exhibitions for him coming up.
Yeah.
So look out for that.
Nice.
Just generally look out for KANAIZA Gallery, Matatu Migration.
Yeah.
If you want to work with me, get in touch.
Get in touch.
If it's possible, we'll make it happen.
Right.
I fund a lot of things myself. I don't have a lot of money.
Just a little disclaimer there.
Just a little disclaimer, but a lot has been able to be done without having a lot of money.
Okay.
But also I think now with the different projects, there are people who are kind of proud of what's happening and they want to invest.
Yeah.
So there's no promises, but if you want to do work together, or you think we can do work together, or you think we have similar missions, I would love to hear from you.
Nice. Yeah, check out KANAIZA Gallery, man. Doing great work, and we just had to, get you on here, give you your flowers, and continue what you're doing. And next year, you said we're gonna collaborate 100%. I got you, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been another episode of Nothing Serious, just vibes. Lock in, subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year,
Peace.
Merry Christmas.